Hello, everybody, and welcome to Let's Get Treacherous. I'm Carson.
I'm Carolyn.
And let's get treacherous. Oh, I just repeated myself, but that's okay because we are with the queen traitor of season 3, Carolyn Wiger. Carolyn, I am in all of you. I'm inspired. I mean, this was a crazy episode. And let me tell you first, just to start it, you kept saying to me, I'm not eloquent. I need to take speech and debate classes. I can't stick up for myself. No, you don't. Because in this episode, I think you underestimate yourself too sometimes because the way you spoke was so powerful. And I mean, like they had the music going at some moments with it. And I think you make a lot of sense and you speak in a way that comes from your heart that I think is rare. And you killed it on this episode. Like, I am amazed.
Yeah, Carson, I know how to talk.
Well, you were always like, I don't. You always say that.
No, I know. I just could improve, just like anyone else could improve on things.
Well, we have a special guest this episode, Bergelicious from season 2 of Traitors.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a quick break and get back to talking with Bergie. So we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We are joined with Bergie from season 2 of Traitors and Love Island, a standout faithful from the season 2 cast. And Bergie, thanks so much for joining us again because first of all, we love you, but also the fans love you. So we had a lot of people like, bring back Bergie, bring back Bergie. So we were like, yeah, we're going to.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, and thank you for having me on again. I love talking to you guys too. It was so much fun the last time I was here.
It really was. Well, and Carolyn, you just got back from New York City. I have not been able to like have an update from you just because
no,
you're
I haven't
busy.
talked to anyone. I haven't talked
I know. So I want all the details. Like, tell me.
It's been a lot, and I told Bergie, I'm like, I'll call you after, like, so we can like talk even more because this has just been like. It's been really like I can't keep up with anything. I feel like that. I texted Janelle and I'm like, girl, like I can't. I have so many messages. I have so many. I'm really overwhelmed.
I think people underestimate how much of it's not a distraction, but a time commitment watching the TV show you appeared on is. I mean, I can relate to that from Survivor, but I feel like Traitors might be another level.
Survivor, for me right now, at least, I'm going to say this is crazier. I thought Survivor, like, this is a whole nother level, and I'm not like discounting your experience.
No, that's what I agree with you. I just based off seeing how it's affected you.
Well, like, Carolyn, I'm happy, but like it's just a lot.
And Carolyn, I will say you are the star of this season, so everybody wants to get you. Like whatever podcast it is, everybody wants you right now because you're one of like the 3 or 4 main stars of this season right now.
Who else are the stars?
I would say Dylan Efron for sure.
Dylan.
Oh yeah,
so attractive. He's so smart. I just want to be next to Dylan. Oh my goodness, everybody talks so good about Dylan. And then obviously people love Boston Rob, and then I'd say Derek and Wes are on the same level, and then there's Danielle too.
Yep.
For the wrong reasons.
What's up, girl? Okay, yeah. No, it's a lot. Well, like, this is a lot. So I want to just say you didn't get a haircut. But no, it's been cool. So let's just get right into it. I'm not like, ooh, segment 1.
No, I have one question about the experience because, like, let's be real. Some of these episodes have been a little bit, like, dicey. So was it in any way awkward at times, like, hanging out with some of these people, having watched the show and these episodes?
It would like first of all, like it's not like I've seen. There's stuff that we don't see, or excuse me, duh. There's stuff that you just don't know about until you watch, and then it's like, oh, ooh. Yeah. So that's like been the part where it's like, oh my gosh, okay, I didn't know this. Oh wow. So that like it's not. I haven't seen anyone. So that's been like the okay, I gotta go down, and let's go. And I was nervous. I was like. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen Danielle, I haven't seen Brittany, I haven't seen any of these people. So like, breathe. I can do this. And I did. I texted Boston Rob and I'm like, girl, I'm a little bit nervous and I don't know, like, and he is so kind as just a human. And I'm like, you know what, Boston Rob? I'm gonna put my like Boston Rob hat on for like some confidence and some support. And I'm gonna go down there. And that's what I did. And it helped. But it was emotional. Like I was like, oh my gosh. And then Wes didn't get in until the next night. And of course, like it's like, we don't want to rehash the game or talk about all the, but there's stuff that you haven't seen. So then it's like, oh, okay. But then it's like, that goes nowhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and then I'm like, Wes, where are you? Like, you're like more neutral, like, hello. And then he didn't get into the like Thursday. And so it was a lot. We're at dinner together. We're doing stuff together. It's interviews together. I had a lot of like conversations and I said, I talked to Brittany just about like, yeah, sometimes it hurts. Like when you like gave me that like side eye look, like it hurt my feelings. And then I told Bob Harper that too. I was like, that hurt, like just the bat thing. I was like, I cried. And it was good to just talk it out, to be like, honestly, to just talk stuff out with people. But it was it was just a lot of nonstop.
Yeah.
You did it last year, Bergie. Like, you know, it's a lot.
Yeah, but I think this season you guys are way more rougher on each other than we were. Like we had such a good time. Like we were singing Kumbaya, rowing the boats, whatnot, and watching you guys play.
No.
It's like, and calling each other names and stuff. It's a different whole experience. Like if I was in your season, I would have had a completely different experience towards Traitors than I do with my cast.
Exactly. So you feel it. You can see it when you're watching.
Yeah, well, like this past episode, I'm like, I don't know if I really like this. Like, I was like, I loved, like, episode 4 was amazing. This episode, I was just like, it's so messy at this point. I'm like, who am I rooting for? I have no idea. Like,
Me?
It's just like,
Carolyn.
you, of course. But, like, it's just so messy.
So what do you mean? So like you're just saying like it's so like you need more structure. You don't like and now is it because I'm standing up for myself? You don't like it?
No, Carolyn, I love it, but it's just like it feels like the Traitors are just self-sabotaging each other left and right over and over again, and it's just like I want to see people work together, not against each other.
Yeah, but what?
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. I have no idea how you do it.
So if you were in my shoes, Bergie, and you are hearing this, that the Traitors that, or excuse me, the other traitor that you're supposed to be working with, went and goes for one of the other Traitors, and it's like you're kind of feeling like, oh my gosh, now looking back you can see, okay, I can understand why they did, but oh, that's kind of scary when you're in that position, because what is this, take out Traitors, or like we're a team or no? From that moment on it was like, this does not seem like a team anymore. Then, but I could have gotten past it, but then it's like, oh, with Boston Rob, but then it's like, oh crap, now Danielle's putting my name out and I'm hearing it from more people. How the heck? And anytime there's people who are able to fake it and be like, that's really hard for me to do, to just be like, oh yeah, like, oh, we're good. How would you get past something? You have one traitor who like goes for the other one. You have another traitor who is throwing you're hearing is throwing your name out. What would you do in my position? Be quiet and...
No, you can't. You executed something that I can't do, Carolyn, this week. Like, I would have been freaking out all day, and I probably would have shut down. Like, and the way Danielle threw out your name, and the way you came at the round table, and you put the emotion in it, like, you killed it, where you made it look more emotional, and even though it was strategic too, but you made it look to the other faithful like, oh, she's just voting for Danielle because of the backstabbing, and she's feeling hurt. Not because, she's a traitor throwing another traitor under the bus. You made that traitor throwing a traitor under the bus go out the window because the way you did it.
That's how
I never do that, and you executed it so well this week. I was just like,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's insane. Like that's something only limited
emotional
people can do. And you did it. Yeah, you did.
Well, I would say, Carolyn, that this is something about knowing who you are that I think you have a self-awareness that's greater than what most people have. And I think a lot of times people who, I don't know, I think you are in a category of someone who embraces emotions in a way that most people don't experience in life, but also in a way where it's like it is rare to meet someone like you who embraces their emotionality, but also knows it in a way that they're self aware enough to recognize how it is perceived by other people. And like looking back on what Bergie mentioned, you at the round table going after Danielle, I don't think people were batting an eye because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, it's just Carolyn. That's who she is. Her voting for Danielle, this all makes sense because of her personality. Like you're so unpredictable in that way because people may not know you that it kind of worked in your favor.
But I'm not gonna lie, like my thinking was like, I can't keep this in anymore. But obviously, yeah, I don't want to be like, this and all rough. And I want to use like, this is my personal experience. Like, girl, because everything I said was the truth. Like this is someone like, you're my ally. Cause that's how I felt. I felt like I don't have a ton of allies in here. You are like someone I'm working with. I trust from day one. We were in the car together, whatever, from like when we roll in there. That hurt. And then partly too, it's like Sandra gave me that advice, like be quiet at the round table.
Yeah. Well, I
Don't
have a
speak
question.
up. Don't say too much. If you don't need to speak, don't speak. You know how boring that gets, Bergie? You know how,
Oh,
what am I doing here? And again, it's like I have to be smart and I have to, and then sometimes I just am like, you know what? That's not fun. And what is more important? And it was the same thing in Survivor. Do I want to win? Of course I want to win. Or do I want to have fun? So is stuff gonna like sometimes like be like, oh, and I know I'm sure people would say like, well, what the heck? And you wouldn't even have the numbers to. I don't know. I knew I did not have the. And even at that point, I didn't even want Boston Rob to go home. I didn't. But at the same time, I was like, I didn't want Wes to go home either, though. But at the same time, I'm like, no, I'm getting this out. Like, I knew there were no vote. Like, come on. Anyway.
mm-hmm.
Okay,
No,
I have a
and
question. Oh, go ahead, Bergen.
no. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, you voting for Danielle, it made sense, and you just executed so well because I talked about it on Ryan Bailey's podcast like the week prior. I was like, I don't know how Carolyn's gonna get out of this mess, and the way you did it this week, I was just like, she did it. I didn't even think of this scenario, and the way you made a new truth and you presented it so well to the group and you executed it, and it was so fun to watch that.
I know, just to actually stand up for myself. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just to speak, but it felt good. But yes, and then watching it, and then it was just crazy at Club coming and being there live, and like, yeah, and like just those moments. It was cool. So thank you.
Okay, I have a question. I'm still a little confused about this, and we haven't had the time to catch up. So this is a legit question I have. It shows because I went and rewinded back at the moment that Brittany comes up to you and she's like, I don't want to tell you who told me, but I have been hearing your name up. And this is after the turret night where Danielle's made the promise to you, hey, like I'm gonna make it right, which anyways. And I was wondering, did Danielle tell Brittany your name before the turret or after? Because I couldn't tell based on the episode. I went and rewinded. I was like, I don't remember
Here's
seeing that.
the deal, because I have no idea what people are saying or what she's saying. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't know either. I
but
don't
my
know.
understanding of the whole, she's throwing your name out. My understanding at that time was that she only said it to Dylan. And so when more and more people are coming up to me, I'm
Yeah,
like, wait, what? So how the hell would I know? Like, because my understanding at the time is like, okay, she said it to Dylan. I didn't, and even watching it back, or excuse me, Dylan and Brittany, that was my understanding. That was it. And then Gabby. But I didn't, obviously watching it back, I'm like, she's saying it to the West, to everybody. The whole, the cars going back from the challenge, all of that. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like how many people has she said it to? And how would I know that she stopped? Well, and that's the thing. Does it make it
not that
better
that's an excuse. Yeah,
like, but I stopped saying your name yesterday. I had no idea that many people knew. So in my book, it's like, it's done. You know what I'm saying? So like, but
yeah,
I
and
stopped because more and more people would say it and tell me in the future. So it wasn't
right.
like they weren't like, she said this on this exact date, but she has stopped ever since. No, how would I
Yeah.
know?
It
So
didn't. You're right. It
it
didn't matter.
wasn't,
Once she turned on you, it's
to me,
over.
it's like, well, didn't she stop saying your name? How would I know? I didn't know how many people she said it to, and I'm gonna trust her that I stopped though, Carolyn. The trust is gone after you do it the first time, so it just doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's literally like going in the woods and starting some of the woods on fire, and there's a giant forest fire, but you're like, don't worry, I'm not gonna
Do it
start any more
tomorrow.
fires tomorrow,
Yes.
even though the
Yes.
woods is already like ablaze,
That's
set
so
on fire.
good.
So yes, but that was so yes, I'm wearing a different outfit, so it was like the next day, but at that point Dylan had told me, and that truly was right before we went to bed the night before, and then the next day more and more people start telling me about it. So it's like that's what really pissed me off was like the amount of people who she was telling. I'm like, okay, this wasn't just like a Dylan thing. This was like a ton of people thing.
Yeah. Well, and
I
it was crazy to see in the turret after her say that, and you were like, when did I say? I never said Brittany's name to you. And she's like, in the turret. I died. I died. I was like, seriously? I think even Boston Rob's face at
Yeah.
that moment was like, what the heck?
She's
Like,
a liability.
So again, imagine, and when I say like, yeah, I'm thinking I'm working with her, I trust her. There was no, I mean, I was shocked when Dylan told me this. I was a billion% shocked because that I told her everything. And then even you didn't tell me about Jeremy right away. I was like, what? I told you. I felt so like just like I was just being gaslit. Like, what is going on right now? What is happening? And you told and I'm thinking in my head because me and Brittany, and of course they're like not showing me at all, but like I talk to Brittany all the time, and I'm thinking like, what? Like, this is great. Like, you can't be serious, Brittany. Like, but yeah. So, yeah, imagine, yeah, like, it'd be great if we all could work together, Bergie. Yeah, it would be, because I had absolutely no intention to me, it's like, this is how, what's the right or wrong way to play the Traitors? I don't know. We're only on season 3. But I would never have gone out there and just been like going after each other right away. That would never have been my plan. It's kind of like obvious because you have to bring in new recruitments. There's blah, 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 blah. Why would I want to? No, I'm going to ride. Even if I don't work the best with somebody, I'll just go ahead, blah, 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 blah. No one's suspecting me. I'll just keep going along. And it's like, I never would have thought like there's no reason to go after each other. There's none. Like I did not want this. It's like go after each other when there's so much suspicion that there's no other choice than to go after them. But other than that, like, come on.
Another question I do have for you, because you mentioned Brittany. Was there anybody else that you felt like close to? Because right now when I'm watching you, it feels like you're just alone to like strategize and everything, and it sucks watching you be in that position.
Here's the deal. Like when I say, Carson, what is going on with your lighting, girl?
I'm going to control the sun. Not trying. Keep going. Here, you know what? I'm going to put the blinds up.
That's the thing. Like they obviously like when I say though that like I feel like super like in with like people. No, I didn't. I did not feel like super in with people. But Brittany, yes, I felt like that was somebody that I could talk to, work with. Dylan is another one. And I don't want to like talk too much about stuff that they do. You know what I'm saying, Bergie. But there's certain people. But Danielle, Brittany, obviously, like, you know, Nikki needed to be out before I could become a Bambi, but Gabby, we see in this last episode. It's not like I was just like wandering around alone, but I 1,000,000,000% feel like Danielle was like the one person that like truly like I trusted, because I never like from day one, I just didn't trust Boston Rob.
Okay, well, with that, we're going to take a break. And when we're back, we're going to discuss more about the round table. We're going to talk about Carolyn telling Danielle to her face, we got to target Danielle. We're going to get into all of the details. We'll be back.
Welcome welcome back everybody to Let's Get
Treacherous.
whatever. So, okay, I forgot to mention this too because it was just like such a crazy night. But yeah, like, and I've seen like stuff online where like Pilot Pete shows up, Fader shows up. Like, are they like regulars at Club Coming, Bergie?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't talk to Phaedra that often, and Peter I talk to maybe like once every 3 months, and that's about the cruise. Like we haven't like kept our friendship. The closest friend I have from season 2 is Janelle, I would say.
And y'all live close too, so
Yeah,
that
we live
totally
close.
makes sense.
That's the thing. Like Peter lives in New York, and I'm in grad school, so it's like really hard to keep that friendship alive because I can't like on a like even on a like 4-month basis, I can't fly to New York. Like that's
No.
too expensive. Yeah, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it's hard to keep that friendship alive.
Here's the deal
Yes.
though. He's really nice, and I said this to his face. I was like, girl, because you know I don't really hold back, but I was like, I didn't expect you to be so nice, or like, you know, like you see, and not that he was like mean on TV or anything. I don't think he was, but you just never know what you're gonna get when you meet people in real life. And he was so down to earth and calm and just like had this like coolness about him. And I was like, you're really nice. Like you're a nice person.
Oh, I could talk about stuff, but I can't talk about it because you know we'll talk about it later. NDAs.
Is he not? He is nice.
No. He's super nice. It's like why he rejected the Traitors request. Everybody was so mad at him for it, but not like production wise, but like you know online, everybody was so mad at him. But he's such a nice guy, he couldn't reject it, and I don't think people understand how nice of a guy Pilot Pete is.
He's really like super kind, unless like.
Wait, this is
and again, he wasn't.
I want to know.
You're gonna be busy,
Well,
so anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't shown in the episode, so it doesn't make it.
Wow.
He's awesome. So I want to say in the other one. So again, like so Club Coming is tiny. It is and they told us, like they warned us, they were like, it's tiny, but it's when they say tiny, like it's a closet. It's really small. I was like, where's the dance floor? There is no dance floor. No, it's teeny. So like you go to like it's literally the bar and then like some chair. So in the VIP area, which like again, I don't even like going in VIP, but like I kind of didn't have a choice because like there was nowhere to sit. Anyway, I was literally on the floor, sitting on the floor because I can't stand and I'm tall, whatever. Anyways, we were like sardined in there. It was a good experience though. Anyway, all of a sudden like comes walking in Phaedra and she comes since I was like, girl. And she looks so good. And I just look at her and I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? I was like, girl, she looks so pretty in person. Like everything just perfect. The nails, the hair, the outfit, from head to toe. And she's so kind and so real. And so I had to make sure I was like, you did such a good job and you're amazing and blah, 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 blah. She was taking pictures. And I was like, so then we were doing pictures outside and I with the fans, I was like, well, no, here, go ahead, take your pictures with Phaedra. And then people wanted pictures with me and Phaedra.
Oh,
made it.
It's like, she's so cool though. Like she is, again, one of those, she wasn't like all short or like, no, she was like super friendly with fans and just fun. Yeah, she's cool. So I like, yeah,
awesome.
But it was fun. It was fun. Like it was.
What about interviews? Like, didn't you? This is like the first time you've seen Danielle in a while. So, like, what was that like?
It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
waiting for the reunion.
It was a lot, Carson. Like, girl, it was just, again, there's so many, like, you know, we have different opinions about stuff. And, like, I'm not one of those people who, like, when the game ends, where I'm going to be like, like, I think of Survivor, like, the people who are like, and that was my move, and you didn't see it out there, but that's not me. I remember after the game was done, I was like, other than making that joke TikTok with you, I was not like, you didn't see this, and like that was my move. I don't like, girl. Or if I like screw up and like do bad on something, I'll be like, yeah, I sucked. I don't. I'm not like a gamer in that sense where I obsess over like perfect strategy, or I'm not perfect. I make a lot of mistakes. I don't look, and especially with a game like the Traitors, I didn't look at it as something that needed to be so serious. So me and her on that, like with that regard, are very different when it comes to like, she's very like strategy, and I'm very much like, of course I like strategy, but I would much rather have fun.
And I was just gonna say, like you were talking about earlier with Sandra saying, "Be quiet," but then you never have fun, and you get flown home. Like you miss out on so much fun. Like on my season, when I finally spoke up at the round table, the amount of joy I had defending Janelle with like my whole life and throwing everything I had at Dan and Harvey, like it was so much fun, and I was like, it's just like I got into it, and it's way more fun, and like an experience like that maybe is worth like $200,000 to somebody. You know what I mean? Like I would rather have like the greatest, funnest game that I've ever had, and maybe lose out on some of the grand prize.
Me too, and that's what I thought. And I'm like, at the same time too, it's like, do I want to enjoy being here? But also like, if I'm just quiet, like, and again, it's not like you have your confessionals where you can be loud or whatever, and obviously being a traitor completely, that adds so much, like a layer of just, it's hard to do that role. And so of course I can't believe, like there's no point of me like accusing all these people at the round table for what why like that's stupid. But at the same time, it's not fun. I want to be accusing people and doing that. No wonder they can't shut up, but it would have been dumb. So but yes, being with Danielle, and it's like at the end of the day though, it's like this is a game, and it's like, oh, I know I take things personally. It wasn't it was hard seeing everyone. That's all I'll say. Like you know what I'm saying?
Were you terrified that night to go to the turret with having Danielle voted for Rob and then you go after Danielle? I mean, I would have been so uncomfortable going to that.
I was looking. No, I was looking forward to it because again, I had been like shutting up and I'd been quiet, and it's like, or I wasn't like, I was kind of letting things happen, and that's really not fun. So no, I was looking forward to it. And I remember too, like even with Boston Rob, and I've told him this since the show, that like this is the truth. I was such in this like, oh, all these men coming in the game. We have Tony, we have like these, and then they were coming down in the cages, like the Wesses, which I love Wes, but like it's just like, why are all these men coming in the game? And then they throw Boston Rob in the turret, and I know how he is gameplay wise, and I'm thinking like, come on, and I just wasn't happy about it. And so I'm thinking in my head like, yeah, like I'm not gonna like talk all different in front of Boston Rob. Like I like, because when he said something like we're supposed to be working together as a or like we're not. Like, no, like, too bad, Boston Rob. So but I get it from his stand, like, he was probably, him, I can understand the frustration with working with me. Absolutely, I can understand it. I was like, I was just done. I was done with the BS. Again, at that time, I didn't understand the Bob the Drag Queen thing. I didn't, and I'm thinking, like, I don't care. But yes, at this point in the turret, I'm 100% thinking like me and B Rob here, me and you. And obviously there's so much heat on him at this point too, that it's like, come on, there's too much heat on him. But my thoughts are like, I can't be with her. I can't trust her. So I'm teaming up with him. Let's go, B Rob. But like, imagine how he feels.
I have a theory about Danielle, specifically in regard to, she said something on this episode at the end. She said, and working with Carolyn, or she said something where she was talking about how you were bothering her. And it made me as a viewer, and there are people like, I've been around you a lot, having interacted with other people, or even running into like people, on the street who will stop me and they'll be like, I wasn't sure about Carolyn. And I really do think that there are people in this world who just might not jive with your personality when they meet you. And when she said that, it was the most honest I think she's been since the beginning of this game, but not considering when she cried about Bob the drag queen leaving. I did think that was a sincere moment, but I felt as though when she said like Carolyn's getting on my nerves, it was like, finally, just admit it. That's how I felt. Like, okay, you just don't like her. That's fine. You don't have to like everybody. But for her, I didn't appreciate how this. I felt like this whole time there was a feeling that I had of, oh, she's trying to justify targeting Carolyn because she's trying to take out Boston Rob. Doesn't make sense. Maybe she just doesn't like your personality and she just wants you out. Like that, when she finally said that, I was like, that's it. That is exactly why.
Like, not that I mind if people don't like me. I don't think that's it, Carson. I don't. Do I think she loves me? No. Duh. I didn't jive well with her personality type. I didn't, but I still I still was like, I'll work with her. Even before I was picked as a traitor, I was working with her. So that's what you do in games. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be in it, like, allies, let's do this. But I wouldn't even go as far as to say she didn't like me and I'm going to like cry because it was personal.
I don't think you should.
I don't think it was just that. I think it was, I have that personality where I am never ever going to be people aren't going to suspect me as being a traitor, and I'm not going to be banished. She knew that. Did you not hear the second I walked in that turret, both her and Bob the drag queen said, no one's ever going to suspect you.
Yeah.
Girl.
She was threatened by you. Yeah.
I could cry all day and be like, she don't like me. Are there people who don't like me? Of course. Let that happen. I don't care. That wasn't it. That was not it. It was, she knew no one's going to suspect me. That's what it was. Come on.
Yeah, you're right.
And again, strategically, for somebody who is a strategic like legend such as she is, why would that make any dang sense to like target someone because you don't like them? Come on.
Yeah.
Do you?
Well, I don't. Yeah, I think you're right. And then I wanted to bring this up, and I want your perspective on it.
She's not that stupid. Is my point? Is she would never do something like that? And as far as like she wants to recruit someone who works better with her, I was really like doing everything she said. So like I don't know what better ally you could get in the turret, girl.
Not to mention,
I guess you're right.
Recruit that person with her.
Exactly.
Yeah. That part that doesn't make any sense.
So I might
and I guess I think I've been trying to justify her actions and like try to find some reason behind it. And that was something I was like, maybe it's that, but I think you're right. I think it came down to she was threatened by you. And then, but we brought this up before the break. I want your perspective on you because, and I say this all the time. Carolyn has the best BS detector out of anyone I've ever met. And I've met a lot of people. Not that that's a big deal. I think you have the best BS detector on reality TV. But all to say, and I say this too, but she's also not afraid to call you out in your face. And so and that goes for a lot of things. You are brutally honest and you're not going to lie. And some people might mistake thinking that you being honest is just you kidding, but you rarely joke when you're saying how you feel. And you said to her, we have to go after Danielle. Like, what do? We have to go after Danielle to Boston Rob in front of Danielle. It was so good.
I wasn't, and that's the thing too, is like, I don't think like, I'm not thinking like, is this going to make good TV and I appreciate the housewives and like those types that are able to do that. Cause I think Danielle's trying to do that as well, which is why I didn't take a lot of the stuff that happened in the turret, like super personally, because I'm like one-on-one, she's not like this. I feel like, okay, she's maybe just trying to like do her little like traitor act and be all like, well, ha, ha, ha. So I was like, yeah, okay, it's a little bit much, but whatever. But no, I'm thinking like, or wait, what was the question? Like, this is, what were we talking about?
I just wanted your thoughts on that, on the turret. I mean, it's just fascinating.
I don't think like, I never ever thought like, this is going to be good TV or this is going to be funny or otherwise I would have said it a little bit cuter or I would have like been like, we got to get Dan. And I didn't. I just came out like that. When he's like, I don't even know what to do. That was my gut reaction was like, we got to get rid of her. That's it. And I just said it. It was just, That's how I felt at that time. When I was pissed, like again, when I'm going in there, like I am literally like I'm just pissed off. And I know you made the comment that Danielle had said, and I'm so sick of Carolyn or something. I'm frustrated, and that was a real moment. Yeah, but do you remember why she said she was frustrated with me? She said she's frustrated with me because what? I was going after traitors when she had just voted for Rob. Like,
Yeah, that was crazy.
which again, to me, just makes good TV. Like, come on, we're ridiculous at this point, and I don't even like. This is girl.
Bergie, what do you think? Like, okay, going back to the round table, there Wes ended up being the person who was eliminated. What I mean, like, would you have jumped on? Like, pretend you don't know who actually is who. Like, what did you pick up on in the round table? Like, would you have been more on the board with like voting out Wes or Boston Rob? Like, I mean, obviously we know all the details now, but was there anything that stood out to you?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question because like season 2 Bergie probably votes for Boston Rob in the instance because like
Okay.
a lot of evidence for Boston Rob, but me now like have playing Traitors once, I probably vote for Wes in this instance just
Okay.
because like it's kind of the group vote. People aren't really liking Wes and what he's doing in the castle, and it's such a Traitors isn't a long game, but we're still super far out from the finale of Traitors. I mean, you just need to get rid of bodies. And Wes being this like super manipulator, Boston Rob, I think Boston Rob is going. Like he's gonna get voted out eventually.
Yeah.
But Wes is like puppeting everybody right now. I think I'd vote Wes out, knowing everything I know now. And I think, but like season 2 Bergie a year ago is voting Boston Rob out.
Wes was so smart though about it. He really was, and the things that he said, it was so true. Like I wanted to be a traitor. Like I want, he did. He wanted to be a traitor, but he's like, I would never be this aggressive traitor. That's like the dumbest thing you can do. You know what I'm saying? He's so smart. Like he truly is. But then he was like aggressive. But again, he's not a traitor. You know?
It's same as
It's
Janelle. Same as Janelle. Like Janelle,
it's
but Janelle wasn't as aggressive as Wes was, but she was aggressive in our group of traders because she's fighting Ekansu for a shield. She's calling people out and like trying to get people banished. But that's why I was like, Janelle's not a traitor. She's trying to banish people. Why would a traitor do that?
But that's like the craziness of this. But then at the same time, too, like you want to have fun. You want to like not like be completely like, not in the edit. So if you're just, it's so, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to speak up sometimes. You got to, it's such a balance. But then you want to stay in the game as well. Speaking of shields, Bergie,
You got it.
I got one. And this is,
what your thought process was. Like, I'm just going to grab it right away. Like, what made you instinctively, like, what was your thought process, like, when the thing opened?
So here's the deal, and like I was 100% playing dumb at that time. I was 100% like, and then when Danielle was like, "This is a shield, Carolyn. So we shouldn't tell anyone about it." And oh,
What would have made it best when Alan goes, "Anybody want to reveal the shield?" You just like, I got it.
I did, but they didn't show this. They didn't show this, but I kept having it Okay, and I don't know why they don't. And I'm not supposed to say this, but whatever. Okay, like I kept accidentally making it fall out of my pocket in front of people just to look like an idiot. And they don't show this either, but I walked into the castle after the mission and I had it around my neck.
You want to know
And then I
something?
wore it to the turret, but they took it away. So like it,
You want to know something funny about my season?
but that's
So
fun.
to hide my shield, you know how I had the red hat in the jacket, the red jacket. I put it in the jacket, and then I took off the jacket right before I went back in the castle once the mission was done, and I left it in like it got in the throwaway pile. So the shield just disappeared. They're like, Bergie, where's the shield? I'm like, it's gone. Like I don't have
Oh no.
it. So
So you didn't get
shield. They had to give me a new shield because I like displaced it on purpose, so like it didn't fall out or nobody's like saw an imprint in my pocket or anything.
Oh, you
Oh
got
my
lucky because that's
gosh.
part of the like thing, you know what I mean? You have to like hide it. And so I thought it would be hilarious to just like, oh, oops, it fell. So I was just playing dumb. That's me playing. But with Tom, my whole thing with that, okay, first of all, Tom Sandoval, whatever mission that was, he's running up there like tripping people, trying to get his head on a body. So I'm like, no way. I am not letting that man grab. I'm not letting Tom grab that shield, because don't even lie to me, Tom. You not for a second are you gonna like, like the other groups, paper, rock, scissors, or the other groups are like, who should get the shield? Heck no. I knew with Tom in my group that there was going to be no discussion or negotiation. So don't lie to me, Tom. You would have grabbed it just like you grabbed your head and you put it on that body. Nope. So that was my thinking, is I'm not even gonna, I got to be the first to grab it, because he was right next to me. If he would have grabbed it, he would have had it. He would have put it around his neck and ran away.
I love Tom Sandoval on y'all's season.
Same.
He is such a fun character to just follow. Him talking to Brittany, and you have Brittany be like, oh my gosh, I just woke up, I've had my coffee. And Tom's like, shut up. Or what did he say? Like over Stop. I love him. He is
But can
hilarious.
I want to say this about him though, and good. Because I'm a human and I care about people, and I just, to me, and I don't care, like, he has this past, okay, and people don't like him, and I think he went out there with so many people, which like some people had, like, knew him or had like connections with him, and I'm not going to try to change anyone's opinion of him or blah, 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 blah. I get that if people had actual experiences with him. But for me, like, I don't know this person. I've never watched Vanderpump, and I just don't think that anybody deserves to have to be punished for something that they've done for however long ago, or, you know what I'm saying? For the rest of his life, he's just supposed to be this, like, we're all going to laugh at him and make fun of him and whatever. I loved Tom. I thought he was freaking hilarious. He's so quirky and weird and strange. And for me, like, I like that. I enjoy that. He was somebody, and I'm thinking of this as, like, we're watching the episode. Yes, did Tom have like 100 theories all the time? Yeah, he did. There were other people who did too. And it's like, like Dylan's not getting laughed at because Dylan, Dylan was thinking it was Gabby. Dylan was thinking it was Bob H. Dylan had a lot of theories as well, but Dylan doesn't present himself like Tom Sandoval, nor does he have the history that Tom has. So it's like, yeah. I appreciate, like, to me, Tom was trying so hard. He was trying so hard to just, like, investigate, but he has that thing, like, where Boston Rob can go in a room, people are listening, people are taking notice. He has that power. Someone like Tom Sandoval, he, just for being who he is, he's just completely discarded.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I mean, like, you didn't know him, and so it's like weird that people may hate him. Like, people can't. I mean, I'm not saying we're not justifying what he's done or anything. It's just like you just judged him based off how you interacted with him, and your interaction was good. Well, with that,
no, not even that. I'm sorry, one second, but also, yeah, sorry. No, he's strange and he's different and he's weird and he's really, like, he is. He was like. He had, like, his behaviors, his mannerisms, he's out there. He's out there. I love those types of people. And so, again, it's not just that, like, the history, he is a strange person, so they're not going to listen to him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for listening. Thank you, Bergie, for joining us. We're going to take a break, and when we're back, we're going to ask Carolyn her girl moment, and then talk about my Carolyn translation moment. We will be back.
Bergie, I'll call you.
Welcome back, everyone. We are going to do a speed run of Carolyn's girl moment and my Carolyn translation moment because we're both busy. Okay, Carolyn, what was your girl moment?
My girl moment was the moment that I found my voice.
You just forgot on the record.
No, yeah, I wish they would have kept the camera on me as I was, like, had that weird ass smile. I wish they would have kept it longer, but I guess it was like, what do we show? Do we show Boston Rob, like, just being terrified face, or do we, like, my evil? Well, we gotta go. Whatever I said, we gotta go for Danielle.
For Danielle, that phenomenal. That was
Put
the
my little,
quote of the season
yeah,
for me.
my little smile.
I screamed when you said
I know,
that.
I forgot all about some of that. Like, again, I don't remember, but yeah, that was great.
All right, my Carolyn translation moment happened when Brittany comes up to you, Carolyn, and she's like, I heard that you were targeting me. Because here's the thing, and here's the picture of Carolyn reacting to this moment. She quite literally chokes, but you
I
remain
did.
calm. And if you are ever with Carolyn and she does this and she chokes like this, no, she is being as serious and honest as possible, because you do have a literally visceral reaction when someone tells you something that is unexpected or untrue. So this reaction was
So
on
real.
point and honest in a way that was hilarious. So
It was
that
the
is,
truth.
yeah, it's the truth. Okay,
I
well,
was
thank you
supposed
all
to
so
choke.
much for listening. And next week, we're going to be back to discuss episode 7 of Traitors season 3 with Carolyn, Wiger, and maybe a special guest. So thank you all so much for listening, and stay safe. Bye.